What's going on, everybody? This is your boy King Germ, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Germ and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows Under review, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
So, for this one right here, right? Stacey took notes for this. She got really intense about this next one, dude. Hey, everybody, this is the Halloween episode. Let me tell you a little bit about planning and how things go different ways. I'm constantly always on the go. So we had originally planned for a whole month of tie-ins to Halloween, but Stacey came up with something good. She wanted to do something about actual Halloween movies, not horror movies, actual Halloween movies.
Right. Well, because whenever you brought it to me, you said, let's do Halloween movies in October. I'm like, okay. And so that's where my thought process was. And you gave me what was the movies read?
I was trying to go with Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, and I'm like, well, I'm just like, but that's a horror movie. I said that's not a Halloween movie.
And then you said,
and you're like, well, no,
Town.
It's a Halloween movie. I said no. And then you came back to me a couple days later, and you're like, you know what? I get what you meant. I was like, yeah, because like whenever I think of a Halloween movie, I think of like Halloween Town or Hocus Pocus would count to me because it is around on Halloween, centered on that. Heck, even the Halloween movies,
right?
Like those would to me are considered Halloween.
Because we think of Michael Myers, yeah.
Yeah, and then like you said, the Evil Dead movies. Think of any Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right. Like those to me are horror movies. So I wouldn't say you can't consider them a Halloween type movie, but that's not what pops in my head when I think of Halloween movie.
So do y'all like that new thing that we did at the front before we did an intro? So anybody that's new to the podcast, I'm JR.
Sorry, and I'm Stacey.
This is Sparrows Under review. I just wanted to throw that in there. It was pretty cool doing that at the beginning like that. So Stacey taught in something that I had to think about. When she said Hocus Pocus, everybody knows that, I'm a living legend. They call me Mr. Nostalgia. People know I'm the old school. The first movie that came to mind was something that crosses. I see this movie a lot, advertised a lot, like the opening. Because if you look at the movie poster for this thing I'm about to talk about, Witches, and I'm talking about Witches, the original. And when I say Witches, because I know I'm country, I'm talking about Witches. This movie came out in 1990, had Anjelica Huston in it. And I don't know if it had anybody else famous or not.
You can keep going.
Yeah, I hear a duck. Geese, whatever. But anyway.
We're outside recording this as we're going, so
yeah,
excuse any background noises you might hear.
Yeah, this one's kind of wild. So here's my thing. Like, you're out here with this movie Witches. And Witches is a movie that has Jim Henson design to it. So you know my ties with Dark Crystal and The Labyrinth, stuff like that. So I have ties to this movie. I'm going to be honest with you, audience. I had forgot about this motherfucking movie. Like, I didn't know. But here's my thing. I'm sorry that I keep talking.
No, it's okay.
The other Witches, the remake, I watched it. Me and Stacey watched it during the pandemic, or sometime. We watched it. All I know is we watched it on the projector because HBO Max at that time was releasing their movie theater movies just directly to the joint.
Right.
And then they were throwing them in the theaters too.
And I'm like, I don't remember the movie. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you were explaining it to me, and I had to look it up. And I'm like, wait, it has
Chris Rock,
Anne Hathaway in it.
Hathaway.
Is that who that is? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like I remember bits and pieces of that, but like I don't remember the whole movie. Like,
and let me
was
say
it
this.
that unforgettable to me?
And it has Mama in it.
Yes, yeah.
It has Mama in it, and I'll get her name right. That won't nothing wrong.
Right. She was the lead in Mama.
Yeah, Mama was in it. Now let me spin this back real quick. So when we're talking about movies, definitely go check out Witches, 1990. I don't know why I call it 1988 or 90.
I don't know.
I just wanted to be older, I guess.
Right.
Okay, so
I thought it would have been older too.
Right.
Like I'm just like, oh well, I don't know why I didn't watch this as a kid.
Right. And I mean, it's vicious though. It's kind of, as a kid, it would scare me. Like,
Yeah.
going into the, let me say this. Shout out to my people over at Jim Henson Productions because they made Anjelica Huston look scary. And I was thinking about as a young boy, I wasn't tenderhearted enough, but I would have been a little afraid. I wouldn't have watched this shit outside of Halloween. And when I watched it, I'd have the lights on because it was nothing suspenseful about the horror. It was just he was ugly.
Now, see, this is another movie that I wouldn't consider this a Halloween movie.
I mean, listen,
but no, in all honesty, where was there any reference that it was around Halloween?
That shit did say like it had some months or years or something. I don't know. It
didn't.
Listen, I'm just
because
relating. Listen,
also they were on vacation and it was nice weather.
It was nice weather in Europe, wherever.
Right. So there was no mention that it was a Halloween-based movie.
All right, y'all.
Now, I can see that you would watch it in October because it kind of feels kind of spooky, and this is maybe a spooky type movie, like because it's not a horror movie, and it's kind of like a light-hearted kind of spooky witchy typey movie.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. All it was just that I found a witch. I just correlated and related witches.
I know, and that's the thing, and that's okay if that's how you classify it. That's your opinion, and you're allowed to classify it as that. Just like me, if I don't want to classify it as a Halloween movie, I'm not going to. That's my opinion.
I might have to get on Spotify and put a question up for this one. Yeah, I might have to do that one. So here's my thing: Hocus Pocus. Stacey, walk us through Hocus Pocus, please.
Are we not going back to witches? Like, are we just jumping all over the place in this podcast? Are we confusing the listeners?
Well, here's the thing: we don't want to jump too deep into it because they need to go watch these. Because if you watch,
they do, but we didn't even do any type of comparison. I don't want to jump to Hocus Pocus and then go back to witches. You get what I'm saying?
All right. Well, let me just say this, and this is just my opinion. Are we comparing both witches right now?
I think we need to stick to one topic.
All right. So witches to witches remake.
No, tell me what you thought of the first Witches movie, the 1990.
Well, the 1990 is a classic. It goes into my collection. It's something that I will refer people to watch. Heck, I referred you to watch it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if you look at the movie poster for it, it'll make you want to watch it. Stacey's looking at the movie poster right now, and it makes her want to watch it. It's very intriguing. And yeah, I mean, it's scary. Like, that joint would make me want to watch what's going on in Witches. Do you see where kind of getting that? I thought it was like a Halloween type movie because that joint is kind of crazy.
So when we first watched this one, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I did see the second one because I'm starting to remember. And this is a remake. It's not a continuation. It's not like a prequel or a sequel or anything like that. It's a straight up remake.
Right. It's innocent. So, I'll put it in a technical term. It's a new adaptation.
Okay, whatever.
Because they added modern. But we'll talk about that
right,
in a minute.
Whatever. I enjoyed the first one. It was funny. It was silly. It was non-realistic, but at the same time, a little bit more realistic.
Right.
Than the other one.
Because one thing I want to throw in a side note, and I want to interview for this because I'm a podcaster. Did you notice that watching something that's from the late 80s, early 90s, where they didn't have computer generation, it was animatronic. It was so how did that make you feel knowing once you watched the second? Like, did you like computer generation over what we had to go through with animatronic?
I feel like I enjoyed the animatronics more because it felt more
realistic.
Felt like it could be more realistic. And the newer ones, I feel like if somebody else would have did it, then maybe I would have liked it better. But I think whoever was in charge of it kind of lacked a little bit because I don't know. Like, I felt like they were a little too fake.
Okay. And I'll say this about the first one.
Because I've seen some really good current ones that probably would have looked great. But yeah.
With this one, though, Roald Dahl wrote the book for this, which I don't know what the book is called.
I don't know.
And Roald Dahl,
The Witches.
and if you don't know who Roald Dahl is, just think of James and the Giant Peach. That's the first thing I can give you. He has other things that you've all watched. So, being to the Roald Dahl, I didn't do my extra research, which I normally do. I want to read the book because I need to
Right,
know
that's
what
what
really.
you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to read the book or have it read to me by
Right.
something on Hoopla.
The Libby app.
Yeah, one
Yep.
of them.
Because that's the thing. If you really enjoy the movie, you should always go back and read or listen to the book.
Right.
But then you also have to be careful because what if it's my favorite movie, Twilight? What if it turns into Twilight? I really enjoyed the Twilight movies.
Right.
Movie. So I went and read the book. And then every time I rewatch the movies, I get more and more disappointed because it's not the book.
Right.
So it's like I'm kind of afraid to
right.
read the book because what if I get disappointed in the movie after that?
And it's just like I watched James and the Giant Peach back in the day, and I read the book in school. We were forced to read it. So I read it, and then when I seen the movie, I hated it. I've never watched the movie since then.
So whenever we read the book and come back and do an episode to compare the books and the movies, we need to remind ourselves that we really did enjoy the movie.
Right. And Hocus Pocus has accompanying books too now.
It does. I haven't read it yet though. Yeah, you bought it for me forever ago.
But those are cool because those are after movie adaptations. Like Hocus Pocus is a movie. So with Witches, the first one, I'm just gonna say this.
I really enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. I liked it that much.
All right, so let's jump into the next one. Witches
hold on. I liked how Witches 2 or the first Witches ended.
Yeah.
I like that there was a completion to the story.
Right, because you didn't need another movie.
Right.
We didn't even need this adaptation we're about to talk about.
No.
Wow. So here we go. Witches 2020. Why? The joint came out like 2018. Now y'all gotta remember this was sometime during COVID. This was during COVID.
That was when it was released. I don't know when they started doing it.
I mean,
but
here we go. Here, in this movie they modernize it. When I did my initial comparison of this to the original, they modernized it and they took the grandmother's role and made her way stronger. And when they did that, it did something different for me because the way that they played it up, they urbanized this movie. They took it from Europe, brought it to America.
I like how you said earlier they Americanized it.
Yeah, they Americanized the movie
and added some different culture to it.
Are you better than urbanized?
I mean, I guess it's because I don't understand the term urbanized.
Well, if you know me, anybody, and you listen to my other show, you understand what I say when I say urbanized. Yeah. So you have Mama in this movie, and I will have to respectively get her name because I don't want to disrespect her because she's like Academy Award winner. She was in The Help. She was in all kinds of movies.
Octavia Spencer.
Octavia Spencer. I apologize to you, Mama. But anyway, this movie has Chris Rock as the narrator. I was going to say the narrative. But actually, he is the narrative. He is the story. He's the young boy.
Yes.
Later, we found out what he is at the end. It really bothered me.
It did. It really, this whole movie bothered me. So I guess, do you want to jump into the spoilers and comparisons?
Yeah.
So here's your spoiler and warning. Please go watch these movies. I highly recommend the 1990 movie first, and then the second one. If you like comparisons. If not, if you only want to watch one, do the 1990. Sorry, everybody in the new one, but the 1990 is 10 times better than the second one.
Right.
So the initial difference is location, obviously. In the first movie, they were vacationing somewhere. Grandma was from London. The parents were living in the United States. And then the second one, they were in Louisiana. Is that where they were at? Yeah, they were in Louisiana, in America.
And it was weird. The new one started off with old boy's parents dying in a different way. They both died in a car accident.
Right.
I'm sorry to put that spoiler in there, but they both died in that.
We gave the spoiler.
But I'm looking at a young Chris Rock, and I'm sorry that his character name can be whatever y'all want it to be, but he's young Chris Rock. Everybody hates Chris is in the car. And the camera spins around. That's one cool thing I want to say. It had a good cinema aspect. The car spun around, and you notice he was upside down in the car. And you see blood. Yeah. They put blood there, and I understand that we have to be kind to everything that goes on, but it was a great storytelling storytelling element for this movie. It was one of those things that I actually, that, when I talk about great things in movies, it's one thing I liked because it didn't leave anything to imagination. It wasn't like a 1992 type movie where certain things just went in. But going on with this, we see that he's gonna have a tough road. Grandma, Mama comes and gets him. Octavia Spencer gets him,
Yep.
and they start their life together.
Yep. And already I was kind of like, we're forgetting something. They're not telling the story. But I do like the way they introduced the witches in the second movie better.
Right. The narration, like I said, the narrative.
Well, no. Like in the show, like the narration, yes, but this little boy at this time doesn't know anything about witches, and I like that because when the witch comes to him the first time, he's the one that notices the purple eyes, the snake, that something's weird with her.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I did enjoy that part better between the two.
Okay.
Because in the first one, you have the grandma telling the story. So throughout the whole movie, you don't know. And like my dad mentioned, was he going to wake up and his parents aren't going to be dead? And it was all because grandma was telling the story.
Did he have a dream? Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So it made you guess throughout the entire movie.
Right. That one was a, like I'll say that was what was crazy. So story arc and everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But what bothered me was there was no Jim Henson involvement. The witches. The witches weren't scary.
No, they weren't.
The witches weren't the witches from the first one.
Mm-mm.
By no comparison.
Anne Hathaway's character had a wide mouth. She looked like the character on the movie Smile. Like her mouth was ear to ear.
And at the end of the movie, you get to see more dimension to her because they show the feet and all the hands and all that stuff. But by that time, she's on her way to being a rat. It didn't even scare me.
Right.
I mean, this movie had some highs and lows in it. They repeated one character of the portly European boy. European boy, so they repeated
Bruno.
That. An element that Stacey didn't like inside this movie. If you want to talk about the new rat.
Yeah. So like in the first movie, the witches, I assume put the kids in painting. Like that was the whole premise behind that. And then when they came to the convention, the Grand High Witch had created this potion that would turn the kids into rats. And this was new. In the second movie, I don't know what happened to the other kids, but the one kid that they introduced, they turned her into a chicken.
Yeah.
And so it's like they already have the ability to turn kids into animals. So why are they coming to the convention center to meet up and all this stuff if they've had this ability for 50 years? You'd say at least.
At least 50.
So like I didn't like that part in the second movie. And then also in the first one, Grandma brought him 2 rats. In the second one, she brought him 1 rat.
And rat was already
it couldn't talk.
Right.
And then when the kid got changed into a rat, Bruno got changed into the rat, all of a sudden the pet rat could talk.
Yeah, motherfucker just knew English, talking
right. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense either.
And going further and further, you're going to have fight scenes, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
The thing that bothered me about this was that, Anne Hathaway's character just got done up. Like, like as much build-up as they made to her,
right?
She didn't last.
No,
and she wasn't. Well, she didn't have that. She didn't have the same flair that Anjelica Huston.
She didn't, and I don't think that it was necessarily a character issue. I think it was more of a directorial production editing issue because I felt like it was. I don't know. I felt like it was really weird. I wrote down, it didn't seem like there was as many witches, and they had no connection to the hotel. In the first movie, one of the witches was one of the people that worked at the hotel, so that's how they got their in and secured the room. They got special treatment, they got the special lunch and all of that stuff. And they didn't have any of that in the second movie.
Right.
So it's just like,
So we can both probably agree once at one time that the movie it felt kind of rushed.
it did.
Right.
And it like in places it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, obviously it's a fake movie, but the first one I got it and comprehended everything. And then the second one I'm just like, what's going on here? And it's like, I don't know. What else did I write here? Oh, I said the first one seems more creepy, more of a creepy witch, and the second one seemed more of a magical witch.
Right. Well, one thing I want to throw in there is that Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean was in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
The hotel staff had more involved. Because the
They
hotel
did.
staff in this one, they're only involved in opening doors and her giving out money at the end of the movie. Like,
Right.
outside of that, like the hotel and then the Mr. Bean side story with him and his mistress,
Mm-hmm.
well, she could have been his normal woman because they was
Right.
It was in a hotel, you know, on that Marvin Gaye,
Right.
in Chardonnay. And anyway, the thing was that got me here was like we didn't have that in this other movie, but this is what the new movie did. The
Mm-hmm.
new movie took the grandmother and the boy, and they took an important part of the first movie story, which made it great at the very end, that away from them. And then, well, you know, the boy going from a boy to a rat, and then from a rat to a boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they took that part
Yes,
away.
they took that away, and they added in a different element at the end of this movie. Automatically turned me off because once I got it, seeing Chris Rock in the future and what he looked like compared to Mama. There's no offense, Mama. We're looking old. We all know black doesn't crack, but still, the thing that I'm saying here is that she didn't look like her age progressed. Like, I want to see like the type of aesthetics they did for Oprah and The Color Purple,
right,
with her getting old. I mean, you got computer generation, so you should be able to do something similar. Grandma just had a little more gray hair. He wasn't moving as fast. So her and him become witch hunters for like 30 years.
Right, and that's what gets me is like if you're going around killing all these witches or turning them into rats and stuff, like why didn't you finish the book yet? Like you have millions of dollars, and
you could have hired some people.
And so that's another thing with the first movie, so that you just mentioned, the Grand High Witch had a sidekick in the beginning.
Yeah.
In the first movie, and basically the Grand High Witch pissed her off, and she said, "I quit." And that's where it tied up the movie. She's basically turned into a good witch, turned Bruno and the other kid back into a human, and Grandma and the grandson had a shit ton of money, and they didn't have to do anything.
How do you just remember Bruno, not the kid?
I don't know, because
Bruno was memorable.
Well,
though, remember he was eating the raisins off the joint in the first movie. Bruno is a great character.
It says this guy as hero boy, a young boy who is turned into a mouse by the Grand High Witch. Bruno also voices his mouse form.
Oh wow! So we'll just go with Bruno because Bruno we know he was a good character. Anyway,
right? But I don't know what this kid's name is. I forget.
Yeah, I forgot. But here we go. Basically, with the addition of Chris Rock here and a few different things, and shout out to Octavia Spencer for her great performance. No shout out to Anne Hathaway. I'm gonna be 100%.
Yeah, she didn't impress me a whole lot in this movie. Anybody could have done that part.
It was just like when she played Catwoman in the Batman movie.
Oh. And I mean, I don't like I said earlier, I don't know that it was necessarily an issue with her, because I think it would have been an awful part for anybody.
Right, but somebody else could have done it better. Because,
no, I don't know. I don't agree. I think that it was an issue with the production and the directing and the cutting. That Grand High Witch in that second movie just didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right. It was too tame.
Yeah.
It was too tame.
Yep.
So that's there. Everybody, we're going to end up turning this into a 2-part series because we pushed this to our max.
Right. And then anyway, so basically at the end of the second movie, Bruno's parents don't want anything to do with him, which in the first one they decided to love him no matter what, even though mommy was scared of rats. The second one, they didn't want nothing to do with him. So now you got Bruno, the little boy, and the other little girl that had turned into a rat, all living with grandma, and then they just live their best life hunting witches and don't end up hunting witches. And 30 years later, like you said, they got
start recruiting
new
children.
kids hunting witches. Like, what the heck you doing with this whole movie?
And one thing I noticed though was that it was only grandma and the son.
Yeah, there.
So I was wondering what happened to Bruno and the girl.
He probably died from a heart attack because he couldn't quit eating
and
too
she
much.
Probably just ran away because she probably
maybe
got tired.
she took off. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, the first one I'll definitely rewatch and recommend to people for some funnies. The second one, if you like Anne Hathaway and Octavia Spencer, give it a chance, form your own opinion, but it's not going to be on my repeat list again.
All right, yeah, second one's garbage, and I'm going to say this, and this is the most disrespectful thing I've ever said about a movie. This movie was so bad that HBO Max pulled it from its catalog. If you go look right now, as of October 12th, it is not in their catalog. It is something that is actually on the internet, that is widespread. So we know that's a horrible movie. So I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.